Welcome to the Bible Quiz and Trivia channel. Today, we're tackling a unique set of questions about things mentioned only once in the Bible, from rare animals to singular events. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and like this video to support our content. After the quiz, share your score in the comments. We love seeing how well you do. Are you ready? Let's get started. Question 1. What unique animal is mentioned only once in the Bible in Leviticus 11:30? A. Behemoth. B. Leviathan. C. Chameleon. D. Nephilim. Answer C. Chameleon. The chameleon is mentioned only once in the Bible in Leviticus 11:30 in the list of unclean animals that the Israelites were forbidden to eat. Question 2. Which tree is mentioned only once, specifically in Genesis 2-9? A. Tree of life. B. Tree of knowledge of good and evil. C. Almond tree. D. Terebinth tree. Answer B. Tree of knowledge of good and evil. The tree of knowledge of good and evil is specifically mentioned only once in Genesis 2-9 as one of the two unique trees in the midst of the Garden of Eden. Question 3. Name the unique gemstone found only once in the Bible in Revelation 21:20. A. Sapphire. B. Chalcedony. C. Jacinth. D. Amber. Answer C. Jacinth. Jacinth is mentioned only once in the Bible, specifically in Revelation 21:20, as one of the foundation stones of the New Jerusalem walls. Question 4. What is the only biblical book where the Valley of Gerar is mentioned? A. Genesis. B. Exodus. C. Joshua. D. Ruth. Answer A. Genesis. The Valley of Gerar is only mentioned in Genesis 26, where Isaac encounters conflict over the wells with the Philistines. Question 5. Which angel is mentioned by name only in the book of Jude? A. Michael. B. Gabriel. C. Raphael. D. Uriel. Answer C. Raphael. The angel Raphael is mentioned by name only in the book of Jude, in a context discussing disputes over the body of Moses. Question 6. What weapon is only mentioned once in Nahum 3-3? A. Sword. B. Spear. C. Shield. D. Scythe. Answer D. Scythe. The scythe is mentioned only once in the Bible, specifically in Nahum 3-3, describing the horror and devastation of the battlefield. Question 7. What term is used only once in the Bible in 2 Timothy 1:10 to describe Jesus Christ? A. Savior. B. Redeemer. C. Advocate. D. Immortal. Answer D. Immortal. The term immortal is used only once in the Bible to describe Jesus Christ in 2 Timothy 1:10, highlighting his victory over death and his eternal nature. Question 8. What color is mentioned only once in the entire Bible in Jeremiah 10-9? A. Scarlet. B. Turquoise. C. Cyan. D. Blue. Answer B. Turquoise. Turquoise is mentioned only once in the Bible, specifically in Jeremiah 10-9, in reference to the materials used by craftsmen. Question 9. What phrase, used to describe God, appears only once in Psalm 84:11? A. Sun and shield. B. Lord of lords. C. King of glory. D. Mighty one. Answer A. Sun and shield. The phrase sun and shield is used only once in the Bible to describe God, specifically in Psalm 84:11, emphasizing his role as a provider and protector. Question 10. Which profession is mentioned only once in Acts 18:3? A. Carpenter. B. Tent maker. C. Fisherman. D. Shepherd. Answer. B. Tent maker. The profession of a tent maker is mentioned only once in the Bible in Acts 18:3, describing Paul's trade by which he supported himself during his missionary journeys. Question 11. What is the only book of the Bible that mentions papyrus? A. John. B. 2 John. C. Revelation. D. 2 Timothy. Answer. D. 2 Timothy. Papyrus is mentioned only in 2 Timothy 4:13, where Paul requests Timothy to bring him his scrolls and parchments, which were likely written on papyrus. Question 12. What food is mentioned only once in Exodus 16:31? A. Manna. B. Quail. C. Pomegranates. D. Lentils. Answer. A. Manna. Manna is described specifically in Exodus 16:31, where it is mentioned as tasting like wafers made with honey, uniquely noted for this detail in Scripture. Question 13. Which unusual musical instrument is named only once in Daniel 3-5? A. Harp. B. Lyre. C. Bagpipe. D. Flute. Answer. C. Bagpipe. The bagpipe is mentioned only once in the Bible in Daniel 3-5, listed among the musical instruments that people were commanded to worship to at the sound of in the story of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Question 14. What city, important in the life of Paul, is mentioned only once in Acts 14-6? A. Lystra. B. Derbe. C. Antioch. D. Tarsus. Answer. B. Derbe. Derbe is mentioned only once in Acts 14-6, noted as a city to which Paul and Barnabas fled to escape persecution. Question 15. Which bird, found only once, is mentioned in Leviticus 11:19? A. Stork. B. Hoopoe. C. Raven. D. Dove. Answer. B. Hoopoe. The hoopoe is mentioned only once in the Bible, specifically in Leviticus 11:19, listed among the birds considered unclean for the Israelites to eat. Question 16. What rare disease is mentioned only once in Luke 4:38? A. Leprosy. B. High fever. C. Blindness. D. Paralysis. Answer. B. High fever. In Luke 4:38, it is recorded that Simon's mother-in-law was suffering from a high fever, a specific ailment mentioned in this singular instance, which Jesus healed, demonstrating his compassion and power over illness. Question 17. What unique gift is brought to Jesus only in Matthew 2:11? A. Gold. B. Myrrh. C. Silver. D. Frankincense. Answer. C. Silver. While gold, frankincense, and myrrh are commonly noted as the gifts the Magi presented to Jesus, silver is not mentioned as a gift in the biblical account of Jesus' nativity. This is a trick question, as silver is not listed in Matthew 2:11 or elsewhere in relation to Jesus' birth. Only gold, frankincense, and myrrh are. Question 18. Which priestly garment is mentioned only once in Exodus 28:42? A. Ephod. B. Breastplate. C. Linen breeches. D. Turban. Answer. C. Linen breeches. The linen breeches or undergarments are mentioned specifically in Exodus 28:42 as part of the priestly garments required to cover the naked flesh when approaching the altar, highlighting modesty and sanctity. Question 19. What phrase used to describe the Messiah appears only once in Zechariah 9-9? A. King of Kings. B. Prince of Peace. C. Righteous and having salvation. D. Light of the world. Answer. C. Righteous and having salvation. In Zechariah 9-9, the Messiah is described uniquely as righteous and having salvation, an expression found nowhere else in the Bible, emphasizing the redemptive role of the coming king. Question 20. What unique number appears only once in Psalm 68:17? A. 20,000. B. 10,000. C. 70,000. D. 100,000. Answer. A. 20,000. The number 20,000 appears only once in the Bible in Psalm 68:17, which talks about the chariots of God being 20,000, emphasizing the majesty and power of God. Question 21. Which body of water is named only once in 1 Kings 7:23? A. Sea of Galilee. B. River Jordan. C. Sea of Joppa. D. Sea of cast metal. Answer. D. Sea of cast metal. The Sea of cast metal is mentioned uniquely in 1 Kings 7:23 in the description of Solomon's temple furnishings, referring to a large basin used for ceremonial washing. Question 22. What exclusive title of God is mentioned only once in Ezekiel 48:35? A. The Almighty. B. The Everlasting God. C. The Lord is there. D. The Lord who provides. Answer. C. The Lord is there. The Lord is there is a unique title for God mentioned only in Ezekiel 48:35, describing the future state of the city where God's presence permanently resides, signifying his eternal commitment to his people. Question 23. What unique law is mentioned only once in Deuteronomy 22:6-7? A. Law of the Nazarene. B. Law about not taking a mother bird with the young. C. Law of gleaning. D. Law of the firstborn. Answer. B. Law about not taking a mother bird with the young. This unique law in Deuteronomy 22:6-7 commands that if one finds a bird's nest with chicks or eggs and the mother sitting on them, they must not take the mother with the young, promoting compassion and sustainability. Question 24. What occupation specific to the New Testament is mentioned only once in Acts 19:24? A. Fisherman. B. Carpenter. C. Silversmith. D. Tent maker. Answer. C. Silversmith. The occupation of a silversmith is mentioned only in Acts 19:24, where Demetrius, a silversmith in Ephesus who made silver shrines of Artemis, stirred up trouble for Paul. Question 25. What is the only place where Tarshish, precious stone, is mentioned in Exodus 28:20? A. Urim and Thummim. B. Breastplate of judgment. C. Crown of the high priest. D. Walls of Jerusalem. Answer. B. Breastplate of judgment. Tarshish as a precious stone is mentioned only in the context of the breastplate of judgment worn by the high priest, detailed in Exodus 28:20, symbolizing one of the 12 tribes of Israel. Question 26. Which physical feature of land is mentioned only once in Genesis 10:25? A. Mountains of Ararat. B. Plains of Moab. C. Valley of Baca. D. Divided earth. Answer: D. Divided earth. In Genesis 10:25, it is mentioned that in the days of Peleg the earth was divided. This reference to a divided earth occurs only here, possibly referring to significant geographical or sociopolitical changes. Question 27. What action by God is mentioned only once in Genesis 2:21? A. Sending a flood. B. Creating man from dust. C. Causing a deep sleep to fall on Adam. D. Speaking through a burning bush. Answer: C. Causing a deep sleep to fall on Adam. This specific action, where God caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam to create Eve from one of his ribs, is mentioned only once in Genesis 2:21, illustrating God's unique method of creating woman. Question 28. What geographical term is mentioned only once in Genesis 10:30? A. Mesopotamia. B. Eastward in Shinar. C. From Mesha to Sephar. D. Land of Nod. Answer: C. From Mesha to Sephar. The term from Mesha to Sephar is mentioned only once in Genesis 10:30, describing the extent of the territory of the descendants of Joktan. Question 29. Which natural disaster is mentioned only once in Ezekiel 38:22? A. Flood. B. Plague. C. Hailstorm with fire. D. Earthquake. Answer: C. Hailstorm with fire. The combination of a hailstorm with fire is uniquely mentioned in Ezekiel 38:22 as one of the divine judgments to be brought against Gog, highlighting God's power and wrath. Question 30. What term for a group of people appears only once in Acts 28:2? A. Barbarians. B. Gentiles. C. Pharisees. D. Disciples. Answer: A. Barbarians. The term barbarians is used uniquely in Acts 28:2 to describe the native people of Malta, who showed unusual kindness to Paul and his shipwrecked companions. Question 31. Which unique miracle of Jesus is recorded only once in Matthew 21:19? A. Turning water into wine. B. Walking on water. C. Cursing the fig tree. D. Calming the storm. Answer: C. Cursing the fig tree. Jesus cursed a fig tree, causing it to wither immediately, a miracle recorded only in Matthew 21:19. This act symbolized the judgment coming upon Israel for its unfruitfulness and hypocrisy. Question 32. What adjective used to describe angels appears only once in Genesis 3:24? A. Mighty. B. Cherubim. C. Flaming. D. Guardian. Answer: C. Flaming. The adjective flaming is used to describe the cherubim placed at the east of the Garden of Eden to guard the way to the tree of life, appearing only in Genesis 3:24. Question 33. What crime is mentioned only once in Deuteronomy 24:7? A. Lying. B. Kidnapping. C. Adultery. D. Blasphemy. Answer: B. Kidnapping. Deuteronomy 24:7 specifically mentions kidnapping among the Israelites as a crime punishable by death, underscoring the seriousness with which it was viewed in the law. Question 34. What type of fabric appears only once in Proverbs 31:13? A. Linen. B. Silk. C. Wool. D. Flax. Answer: D. Flax. The virtuous woman described in Proverbs 31:13 is noted for seeking wool and flax and willingly working with her hands, with flax mentioned specifically in this context. Question 35. What one-time offering is detailed in Leviticus 6:21? A. Grain offering. B. Sin offering. C. Guilt offering. D. Burnt offering. Answer: A. Grain offering. Leviticus 6:21 details a specific grain offering that is to be completely burnt, a unique requirement among the various offerings prescribed in the Levitical laws. Question 36. Which Jewish feast is mentioned only once in the New Testament in John 5:1? A. Passover. B. Feast of Booths. C. Feast of Dedication. D. Feast of the Jews. Answer: D. Feast of the Jews. John 5:1 mentions a feast of the Jews where Jesus went up to Jerusalem, not specifically naming the feast, making it a unique mention. Question 37. What unique expression of worship appears only once in 1 Chronicles 29:20? A. Singing a new song. B. Kneeling and blessing the Lord. C. Dancing before the ark. D. Playing loud cymbals. Answer: B. Kneeling and blessing the Lord. 1 Chronicles 29:20 uniquely records the people kneeling and blessing the Lord, an expression of corporate worship and reverence. Question 38. Which animal metaphor for leaders is used only once in Proverbs 28:15? A. Lion. B. Bear. C. Wolf. D. Roaring lion. Answer: D. Roaring lion. Proverbs 28:15 uses the metaphor of a roaring lion to describe a wicked ruler who oppresses the poor, a unique use of this specific animal behavior in describing leadership. Question 39. What unusual form of punishment is described only once in Deuteronomy 25:2-3? A. Stoning. B. Whipping. C. Cutting off hands. D. Imprisonment. Answer: B. Whipping. Deuteronomy 25:2-3 describes whipping as a form of punishment, with specific guidelines on its execution, ensuring it does not exceed 40 lashes, a unique legal prescription for punishment. Question 40. What specific term for a royal official is used only once in Esther 1:10? A. Chamberlain. B. Eunuch. C. Scribe. D. Minister. Answer: A. Chamberlain. The term Chamberlain is used in Esther 1:10, referring to the 7 eunuchs who served King Ahasuerus, a specific role mentioned in this context. Question 41. What is the only verse where cedar resin is mentioned in Genesis 6:14? A. True. B. False. C. Possible. D. Probable. Answer: A. True. Genesis 6:14 uniquely mentions cedar resin used by Noah to waterproof the ark, specifying a particular material used for construction and preservation. Question 42. Which only person is described as a gatherer of sycamore figs in Amos 7:14? A. Amos. B. Hosea. C. Micah. D. Isaiah. Answer: A. Amos. Amos 7:14 uniquely describes Amos himself as a gatherer of sycamore figs, highlighting his humble background before being called as a prophet. Question 43. What specific term is used for the Messiah only once in Jeremiah 23:6? A. The Lord our righteousness. B. King of kings. C. Prince of peace. D. Emmanuel. Answer A. The Lord our righteousness. In Jeremiah 23-6, the Messiah is uniquely called the Lord our righteousness, emphasizing the divine nature and redemptive role of the promised deliverer. Question 44. Which type of bird, mentioned only once, appears in Job 28-7? A. Falcon. B. Hawk. C. Path. D. Vulture. Answer C. Path. Job 28-7 uniquely mentions the path which no bird of prey knows and which the falcon's eye has not seen, using poetic language to describe the mysteries of creation and wisdom. Question 45. What type of jewelry is mentioned only once in Genesis 24:47? A. Nose ring. B. Bracelet. C. Earring. D. Necklace. Answer A. Nose ring. In Genesis 24:47, a nose ring is specifically mentioned as a gift from Abraham's servant to Rebekah, marking it as a unique mention of this type of jewelry in the Bible. Question 46. What unique description of the land of Egypt appears only once in Numbers 16:13? A land flowing with milk and honey. B. Land of slavery. C. Land of famine. D. Land of grains. Answer B. Land of slavery. In Numbers 16:13, Egypt is uniquely described as a land of slavery, highlighting the bitterness of the Israelites' bondage there, in stark contrast to the usual reference to the Promised Land. Question 47. What only time does the Bible mention writing on a wall in Daniel 5? A. True. B. False. C. Possible. D. Probable. Answer A. True. Daniel 5 records the only time when writing appears on a wall during Belshazzar's feast, interpreted by Daniel as a divine judgment against the Babylonian king. Question 48. What unique prayer request appears only once in Luke 23:42? A. For forgiveness. B. For healing. C. To remember him. D. For protection. Answer C. To remember him. The thief on the cross next to Jesus uniquely requests, Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom in Luke 23:42, expressing faith in Jesus' kingship and divine authority. Question 49. What type of insect is mentioned only once in Ecclesiastes 10:1? A. Locust. B. Fly. C. Bee. D. Ant. Answer B. Fly. Ecclesiastes 10:1 mentions that dead flies make a perfumer's oil ferment and stink, using this as a metaphor to describe how a little folly can outweigh wisdom and honor. Question 50. What only color used to describe hair appears in Leviticus 13:30? A. Black. B. Blonde. C. Red. D. Yellow. Answer D. Yellow. Leviticus 13:30 mentions yellow hair in the context of diagnosing a skin disease, marking it as a unique description regarding hair color in the Bible.